everybody, welcome back to my channel. I took an unintentional 6-month break. Not really sure why, but I am back and I'm very excited to make more videos and talk about books with all of you. I hope everybody is staying at home and staying safe and staying healthy. I think I'm on week 6 of staying at home. The days just kind of all blur in together, but I did recently make a purchase from Book Outlet for a few books, and I wanted to show them all to you. A majority of the books that I got are Paper Mill classics, so they have really nice covers, and yeah, I think they're beautiful, so I really wanted to get them. So without further ado, let's take a look at what I bought. So the first book that I wanted to show you is a book that I loved when I was younger. I remember going to the Scholastic Book Fair, and they actually had a edition of the book that came with a necklace with a key on it, and I wore that all the time, and I wish I knew where that was so I could wear it again, but that's okay. So the book is Secret Garden by Francis Hodgson Burnett. I think that's how you say his name. But yeah, look at this cover. Hoping it's going to focus. This is one of my favorite books from when I was younger, and I'm really excited to have a beautiful copy of it. I do actually have 2 copies of the book already that I wanted to show you. The first copy is this one right here. So this is actually the copy that came with the necklace, and I read this book a lot. And then I also have another copy of this book. So now I have 3 copies of The Secret Garden. But when you love a book, sometimes you need more copies because you just never know. I'm actually going to be rereading The Secret Garden for the Spark Joy Readathon that I'm going to be hosting next month. So it starts on May 1st. And one of the prompts is rereading a book that you loved when you were younger. So I decided to pick The Secret Garden. I was going to pick A Series of Unfortunate Events, but I've been thinking about The Secret Garden a lot, and I've really been in a classic kind of mood. I want to like reread all of the classics again. So I decided to go with The Secret Garden. And for those of you that don't know about the Spark Joy Readathon, as I mentioned before, I will be hosting that from May 1st to May 31st, and there will be a giveaway. It's going to be over on my Instagram, and I'll have the link for my Instagram linked down below. That's where you'll find the prompts as well, but I will be making a video for the Spark Joy Readathon, so stay tuned for that. So the next book I wanted to show you is by one of my favorite authors, and when I saw this cover, I had to have it. I already have a copy of The Great Gatsby. I just told you what it was, but I really needed to have this cover. So there you go. Great Gatsby by Scott Fitzgerald. I've been in a Scott Fitzgerald kind of mood. I recently read Z by a novel of Zelda Fitzgerald by Therese Ann Fowler, and I really liked this book. This book is actually about Zelda Fitzgerald, who was married to Scott Fitzgerald. It kind of touches on their relationship with each other, so a lot of the dialogue is fictional. We don't know if the things that happened between them really did happen, but the timeline, the relationship they had with Ernest Hemingway, it's all in the book. So it was really cool to read through the book and kind of like Google about the years and see what was going on with Zelda and Scott and Ernest Hemingway. I really like this book, and if you have read The Paris Wife by Paula McLean, that one is actually about Ernest Hemingway's first wife, Hadley, and that one's a very heartbreaking read. If you've read that one, you will love this book, like, because I loved this book. So I was in a Fitzgerald mood and I saw this copy and I had to have it. I think it's stunning, super stunning. The next book, this book, I actually never read the book, but I do love the movie and I loved it when I was younger. So when I saw this cover, I obviously had to have it, and I really would like to reread it very soon. And that is The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. If you want to take a look at that. It's a super pretty cover. I like the shoes at the front. Yeah, I'm really excited to read this. Again, I loved the movie when I was younger. Like, I would dress up as Dorothy all the time. So I'm really excited to read this, and the Paper Mill Press edition is very beautiful too. So I had to have it, obviously. The next book is my favorite book of all time by one of my favorite authors of all time, Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. I love this book so much. Like, I can't even tell you how much this book means to me. I actually did find, this is my copy of Jane Eyre from university. So if you didn't know, I'm an English major, and I took a seminar on Jane Eyre for a semester. So it was literally a semester just on Jane Eyre, and we studied like each chapter, paragraph, sentences. So I think that's why I loved it so much. It wasn't just that I read it all in one shot and absolutely loved it. It's the fact that I was able to dissect it and talk about it, and there's just so many themes involved in this book, and I just loved it so much. And although I already have this copy, as you can see, there are a lot of sticky notes in there, and honestly, I don't want to get rid of them because it just reminds me of the time when I wrote like a 14-page paper on Jane Eyre. And yeah, I just love this book. So when I saw this edition, I had to have it. It's really stunning. And I also really like the little bookmark type thing in the books. They're just like old style, and I'm just really liking that. I'm actually going to be doing a reread of Jane Eyre in the month of June because that is my birthday month. So, and it's my favorite book. So if you would like to join, comment down below because I'd really like to see who's interested in either reading Jane Eyre for the first time or rereading it with me. I think that would be a lot of fun. The next books that I got are by one author, and I love this author too, and I already have all of her books, but I have them all in one book. So I'm gonna show you. That is Jane Austen's book. So as you can see, it's a giant book. So it literally has all of Jane Austen's novels in this. And as I mentioned before, I'm in a really classics kind of mood. So I want to reread all of Jane Eyre because it's been like 10 or 11 years since I've read Jane Austen and read Jane Eyre and all that kind of stuff. So I really want to reread them and love them again. But I think it's going to be really difficult for me to even get through the books this way. So I found a couple of Jane Austen's books that are paper mill classic editions. So I decided to pick those up, but I'm still missing a couple of her books. So hopefully I can find those. First one is Pride and Prejudice. As you can see, I really like this cover. I especially like the peacock feather on the front. Super excited to read this one. This one is probably my favorite Jane Austen, but I do have another favorite, which is Emma. I'm super excited to reread this one, and I'm especially excited to reread this one because I really want to watch the movie. But it's, like I said, it's been a while since I've read any of Jane Austen's books, so I want to reread it. So that is the cover for Emma. And the next Jane Austen book that has a paper mill classic edition that I found is Sense and Sensibility. I'm also excited to reread this one, and I just love the color of this book. Super pretty. And the last Jane Austen that I got is Persuasion. Very excited. I am really hoping that I can find paper mill editions of the other books that I'm missing, because if I don't, it's gonna drive me insane that I have all of these ones, but I don't have the other ones in the same edition. So if you guys find paper mill editions of Northanger Abbey, Mansfield Park, please let me know because I need to get them. That is what I got from Book Outlet in terms of classics. I did get another book that I'm very excited to read. It has kind of mixed reviews on Goodreads and Instagram, but the synopsis just sounds really good, so I'm very excited to read it. It is Baby Teeth by, I think it's Zoe Stage. I'm not really sure how to say her last name, but I will read you the synopsis. Meet Hannah. 7-year-old Hannah is sweet but silent angel in the eyes of her adoring father Alex. He's the only person who understands her. But her mother, Suzette, stands in her way, and she'll try any trick she can think of to get rid of her, ideally for good. That's your mom. Meet Suzette. Suzette loves her daughter, but after years of expulsions and strained homeschooling, her health and sanity are weakening day by day. She's also becoming increasingly frightened by Hannah's little games, while her husband Alex remains blind to the failing family dynamics. Soon, Suzette starts to fear that maybe her supposedly innocent baby sister may have a truly sinister agenda. I think it sounds really good. Has anybody read this book? If you have or if you haven't, let me know. I think it sounds really good, so despite the negative reviews about it, I'm actually really excited to read it. So I did get one more book, not from Book Outlet. It was gifted to me by Paper and Ink Box. They are a subscription box that feature female writers, so they pick one book a month that is written by a female author, and they discuss it on their podcast, and they also discuss it in their discussion group on Facebook, I believe. So I was actually their rep for the last 3 months, so you can use the code ReadWithSam10 to get 10% off your subscription. That code is good until the end of April. So for the month of April, they have chosen Dear Edward by Anne Napolitano. I think that's how you say her last name. I'm really excited to read this one. I've heard really good things about it, so I'll read you the synopsis. What does it mean not just to survive, but to truly live? One summer morning, 12-year-old Edward Adler, his beloved older brother, his parents, and 183 other passengers board a flight in Newark headed for Los Angeles. Among them are a Wall Street wonderkind, a young woman coming to terms with an unexpected pregnancy, an injured veteran returning from Afghanistan, a business tycoon, and a free-spirited woman running away from her controlling husband. Halfway across the country, the plane crashes. Edward is the sole survivor. I think it sounds really good. I'm super excited to get into it. If you have read this, let me know. Super excited to get into this. So thank you very much, Paper and Ink Box, for letting me be your rep and for gifting me this book. If you are interested in Paper and Ink Box, I will have all of their information linked down below as well. So yeah, those are the books that I have gotten over the last week. I'm really happy with my Book Outlet purchases. I'm so excited they finally came in so I can start rereading those classics. If you want to join the Spark Joy Readathon or rereading Jane Eyre, be sure to be following me on my Instagram because I have all of that information over on my Instagram, but I will have a video coming soon about the Spark Joy Readathon. And yeah, thank you so much for watching my channel or watching my video. I'm super happy to be back and I will have more videos, I promise. And I hope you are all staying home and staying safe and healthy, and I hope you have a great day. Bye!